quite possibly one of the greatest nights that I have had in a very long time. I had a lot of fun.
I like to hear when you like events because it is so fucking rare.
Well, I didn't like it top to bottom. I just happened to be in a really fun atmosphere while I was watching it, and sometimes that helps.
That helps. Yeah,
That helps you get through certain stuff. So, the Royal Rumble was this past weekend. It was on Saturday. Let me just start right off at the top. I am in love with the fact that these pay-per-views are on Saturday now. It gives you some time to breathe on Sunday.
Yes.
And then, there's stuff that you can live your life and not have to be on your deathbed.
Stay up late, watch it, enjoy it, have fun.
Yes.
You don't worry about waking up in the fucking morning. Whose
Yes.
idea was that? Fucking stupid. Put shit on Sundays.
Oh man, and it was our life for so long. It was Sunday for forever, and So let me just start off here at the top with I wrote some notes here because every time I get hyped about something we're going to talk about, I always get so hyped and lost in conversation I forget shit that I was going to say. We always end the show and I go into the kitchen, I get a water, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to mention this. So this time I wrote them down.
Look at you being prepared.
There was confusion at first. I was under the impression, and so was Joe, that the pay-per-views would also be on Netflix. And it turns out it wasn't.
No, I didn't even think about that. I went straight to Peacock.
Yeah, no, I checked Netflix first, didn't see it. Then I went to Peacock, and the pre-show was there. So we said, is it supposed to be on Peacock or Netflix? And we kept checking back and forth. It was on Peacock, so we said, fuck it, we'll watch it on Peacock. During the pre-show, Joe looked it up and said, yeah, it's on Netflix internationally. But since they still have the PLE deal with Peacock, the pay-per-views are still on Peacock, which is...
When is that over?
Yeah, I know.
That's the day to fucking celebrate.
I'm going to look that up sometime after this show is over. But I can tell you right now, I don't dig Peacock at all. I'm over it. And I just wasn't... I wasn't digging it. But it is what it is. The pre-show's on. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Do you watch the pre-show or no? Not really. You go right straight to the
pre-show.
Yes, the pre-show.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm starting to enjoy it more. And I'll tell you why. Because it's not. It doesn't feel stuffy like it did before, where it was just okay. Here's this match. Here's what's going on. Here's the package. What do you think's going to happen tonight? And everyone's just kind of. Very stiffly going back and forth. There's some funny shit happening on the pre-show. We were watching the pre-show as a group, and we were dying laughing because there was just so much shit. There's a show called LFG or something like that. It's almost like a Tough Enough. They're bringing in these veterans to come teach these young guys about professional wrestling and how to become a WWE superstar and stuff. And they were talking and they had Bully Ray or Bubba Ray. It's Bubba. And they had Bubba Ray on the panel to discuss the show because he's one of the coaches on the show. And imagine being a young guy just starting in the business and one of your coaches is The Undertaker. Like that's what we got. Taker, Booker T, Bubba, Mickey James. I think there's a few more people who are going to be training some of these new people. And was it Pat McAfee? I forgot who it was. They were like, "Oh, to see you as a coach, it's so refreshing because I've seen you from your ECW days all the way through your Dudley Boy WWE days, all the way to your Bully Ray days in TNA." And Bubba's eyes got humongous, and he goes, "Can you say that on WWE television?" He was like, "What, Bully Ray? Yeah, you're Bully Ray." He goes, "Oh, I'm being told in my ear it's okay. Yes, Bully Ray." He said, "Yes, I was Bully Ray in TNA." You couldn't dynamite the smile off of Bubba's face because he was just like, "I have been dying for fucking years to say that on fucking television. Yes, I had a fantastic heel run in TNA and I wanted to do the shit here." Anyway, long story. But yeah, they talk about so much. That's why I feel like Pat McAfee gets away with so much shit.
Oh, yeah.
He says so much shit in the past.
But you know what it is, though? I'll be honest with you. I take Pat McAfee as the type of dude that reads policies and procedures, like, on his time off. Like, I think he gets away with a lot of shit because I think he actually understands the guidelines and
Right.
he knows how to tiptoe that shit.
Yeah.
He just does it
He
too
know.
many
Yeah.
times for it to be a coincidence.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. And some of that material feels prepared, where it's like he
Yes,
knew
like dude,
coming
he just
into it he was gonna slide that in there,
dude,
and you're
that's what
like,
makes him so good because he'll say some shit and you're like, yo, even women like, yo, can you? Yeah, no, I think hold on, I gotta think about that. Yeah, like I
he
think you should be okay with it.
he's been cussing on
Oh, he goes
commentary.
hard on Netflix.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yes,
he was doing for Braun Strowman. He was like, "That is a big son of a bitch." And then there was one where they did something crazy, and the crowd was chanting "Holy shit!" He was "Holy shit!" And I went, "What the fuck did he just say?" Like the meme.
dude.
What did he say?
I
That shit was
told you when they
crazy.
went to Netflix, it was gonna feel so much better that they can use adult fucking language.
Just be real for a second and just call it like
Yeah,
they see it.
I love it.
So once the pay-per-view started, now mind you, there were only 4 matches on this card, but I have to be
It was perfect.
I have to be fair though. I have to be fair. I gave AEW shit for being in between that 4 or 5 hour area because I'm
It was
just
like
like
4.5 or some shit.
it was
right?
like 4.5, and I'm like at least when AEW does it, there's some diversity there. 4 matches, 4.5 hours. No, I'm not gonna front. I loved being at Pombo's. We had a really good time. But when the pay-per-view starts at 6, I have my son here. I don't want to get home late. I thought 6 was perfect because I'm like 3 hours and change. We'll be out of there about 9 something. We're 45 minutes from the house. I'll get the kid home by 10.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly, bitch. I did think, and that was my fault for having thunk it. But
yeah, you goddamn right.
this pay-per-view was excruciatingly long. I'm not gonna front, and I'm not gonna be a hypocrite about it. This felt long. We were mentioning it during the well, we'll get to it in a second, but somewhere in the middle there, we'll say it started dragging, and we were like, oh my god. And the vibe I got ever since they started doing they don't call them pay-per-views anymore. They're PLEs
I
now.
call them pay-per-views.
I know, but for the sake of this conversation, whenever they do pay-per-views, Triple H has dwindled it down, right? So we get like 5 matches of pay-per-view, 4 matches of pay-per-view, 6 matches. They've trimmed it, right? So that's down a little bit more. But it's still taking the same amount of time. So I think my wife was the one who brought that up. She goes, why does this still feel like it's still ending at the same time? And he's cut the matches almost in half. I said to her,
Two rumbles.
and I'll explain it to the people out there too. I told her, I said, you remember what it felt like to watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? That pay-per-view was also 3 or 4 hours long, maybe more, and it only had 4 fights on it.
Yeah, it's too much talking though.
It's the in-between bullshit. During this whole pay-per-view, we saw people sitting ringside. We saw commercials. We saw backstage interviews. We saw people walking around backstage. There were so many moving parts. And then the matches themselves, yes, it's 2 Royal Rumble matches. The first Royal Rumble match, I have it here in front of me. The first Royal Rumble match was 1 hour and 10 minutes. The men's Royal Rumble match was 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's 2.5 hours, just those 2 matches. So even if you want to sit here and say, well, come on, AJ, it's 2 Rumble matches. That takes forever.
And hold on, let me throw a caveat in there. In the men's Rumble, they actually didn't wait the full duration for 5 wrestlers.
They cut it short?
Cena came out, and then less than 10 seconds, the next person came out, and then less than 10 seconds, the next person came out. Go back and watch it again. When Cena comes out, I remember because they were all standing up, 3, 2, 1. He got in there, and then Cena's in there, and then next thing you know, everyone's standing up again because the buzzer comes up. So either I was so entranced that freaking Cena was out there, but I'm telling you, the monster like 5 all came out within like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second when we get to the men's match. But yeah, so this felt like a while. However, at the start of the first match, and I want to get your thoughts on this. What did you think of that lower third ticker?
What?
The lower third ticker. The names on the bottom, the entrance in which they
Oh,
came
it's
out.
funny. I was looking at that and made comments to myself. I like it.
I loved it.
I like it.
I loved it.
It shrinks the screen, but it also gives me useful information.
You're caught up. You know exactly what number
especially
that person.
In a rumble.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the one time I think they can use it.
I loved it. It was I'm telling you, I know this is one thing you're not like the hugest fan of it. It was just nice to hear you say that you like this. But the reason why I like it so much is because it's very sports.
Yes.
ESPN type shit.
It did.
I love it.
It reminded me a lot of like when you watch a football game or a basketball game and it's there the whole time, but it changes. So like obviously the score changes, but whenever they throw a flag, it says flag, a penalty. It gives you little tidbits of information at the bottom.
Information that had passed that I can now like look at.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like some of the female wrestlers I didn't know.
Right.
They would say who they were coming out, but it lingers. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, okay, this person's name, and then it switches like this is what they've done. They're like throw up an accolade. And I'm like, oh, okay, this person from here. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They told you how many people were active in the match, how many people have been eliminated, which number was coming out next. How many Royal Rumbles have we watched? We're like, fuck, what number are we on? No confusion. It's right there on the screen. Whenever the ring got filled up, you would see if somebody had like a bunch of eliminations. When Roman Reigns eliminated 4 people, it had a GIF, like a picture of Roman Reigns. It says he's eliminated this person, this person, this person, this person. It was giving you stats. It was giving you real-time results. That shit was amazing.
It was really good. I like it. They need to keep doing that.
Wow, that's pretty fucking good. Awesome.
Production team has been cooking all fucking year.
Oh, yeah. This new guy really knows what the fuck he's doing.
He's been turning the fuck up since he got there. His
Lee
camera
Fitting.
angles have been on point.
Yep.
His fucking, and he's not trying to do too much at once, which is awesome.
Yep. No clicking around.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the ticker, obviously. And the first time that we see the ticker is in the first match. And we've got the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, I'm not going to go blow for blow and women for women. Obviously, we know who the winner is. The decision that was made for the Women's Royal Rumble was Charlotte Flair. Now, to you said this right before we went on the air. You said, I don't really... Because as soon as the Rumble was over, I looked at Pombo. I said, because Pombo listens to the show weekly. I said, you're going to hear it. If you thought he beat his chest over Chelsea Green... he's going to really beat his chest on this one. So I was surprised for you to be like, nah, I didn't really feel like it was all that crazy.
It's a no-brainer. If anything, it kind of took away from me, right?
It was almost
I would have actually
simple.
preferred her to do the because the Elimination Chamber gets a chance as well, right?
Uh-huh. The women get
so I would have
rathered
rathered her win the Elimination Chamber than win the Rumble. I don't. She should not have been in the Rumble. I would have made an argument. I say that before I saw the Rumble. Now that I have seen the Rumble, it made me hate this decision even more. Because there were so many people who actually showed
Wait. This was your pick, and you're upset that she won?
Yeah, I told you. Okay, I said on the roundtable that it has to be Charlotte. Like, it takes the guess out of it. Right. Like, because Charlotte is here, she's going to win. There is no I'm not even going to entertain the idea of making fun picks because it's going to Charlotte. There's no fucking question. There's no way. Which is why I'm saying I would have rather her come back on Elimination Chamber. I think that would have been more fun. And I say this before, like I said, I say this before I even saw the Rumble. Now that I saw it, now I'm really fucking like, damn, man, someone else could. She didn't need that win. And I think we were heading in the right direction and stop doing these little stupid bullshit, obvious wins that are fucking dumb. And it just doesn't serve any purpose. I've been an advocate for this for a very long time. I'm starting to get my way. So I'll be happy. I got to take an L here. It is what it is. But I'm done of the era of giving people yearly annual resume boosters for no fucking reason. Let's stop this. Let's stop giving the Charlotte Flairs of the world the automatic fucking win at the Rumble, and let's give it to someone else who could fucking try to do something. And you can't say that in this Rumble there's not at least 5 other women who would have been appropriate for a match. Because those same 5 people are going to be in the Elimination Chamber. So one of them could have won here. I would have even rather seen Bayley win back to back than to see Charlotte win this.
But Bayley is just as elder statesmanly, I guess, as Charlotte. Why would that?
And I don't like that. I'm just saying I'd rather have seen Bayley win it back to back than see Charlotte win it.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, with Charlotte with Bayley in the Rumble, there are other people I think there's a chance. With Charlotte, there's no chance.
If your prediction would have been true, let's say they didn't have Charlotte in the Rumble, she would have been, let's say, like a surprise entrant or something into the chamber or something. I don't know. She's not in the Rumble. Now that you've seen the Rumble, now that it happened before your eyes,
my answer is with women is always going to be Bianca Belair. So we'll take that one. We'll move that one out of the way, right? It's just like my Michael Jordan of the women's division. I'm not even going to put her in any conversations. The answer is always Bianca Belair. So we'll move past that. Damn, what is her name? I can see her, the one who made it to the end. I was actually shocked by that.
Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez made it to the fucking end.
I think Roxanne Perez would have shocked everybody.
Which was fucking awesome. I don't know if her winning it, but I thought it was awesome that she made it to the end. And listen, if I'm going to take the L that Charlotte won, I at least like the fact that they didn't leave her in there with a Bayley or a Nia or whatever. They had someone else.
Yeah.
That's an accolade. I was number 2 in the Royal Rumble.
How do you feel if they would have called an audible based solely on response? Because let me tell you something. There was a lot of loud moments at the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of quiet moments at the Royal Rumble. But no one, and I repeat, no one got a louder fucking response than when Little Miss Bliss came out of nowhere and fucking returned to the WWE. The camera shook. That building had an earthquake when Alexa Bliss came out. They lost their fucking shit.
Only to be disrespected and be eliminated by the Great Value version.
Oh, no.
I said, finally, we have the real Alexa Bliss. Damn, I'm so sick of this damn low budget. I'm finally get her back. So she comes back. She looks great. The T-shirt, all that stuff looked good.
Yeah, Steph saw that and said, I want it.
Yeah, it looks so good. Everything looks good. So let's see how that works out. I'll tell you what, though. The TNA showed their fucking ass this pay-per-view. TNA came out with like, yo.
Well, TNA didn't have anybody in the women's Rumble.
Well, okay, so you're hitting me on a technicality.
You're referring to Jordan Grace.
Jordan,
yeah,
they referred to her, and this is why I keep saying TNA, because I didn't know she had signed to NXT. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but they were referring to her. They did reference TNA, and they said that she was a former knockout champion.
Yeah.
So to me, my brain went, she's from TNA.
Yeah, she was the knockout champion when she was in the Rumble last year.
Bro, I didn't watch last year, but I mean, I did. I don't fucking remember, but I don't know.
We talked about it.
She did something different this year because I don't know. I think they all did. To be honest with you, like it gets stale when everyone's like been in there for a long time. You got people in the corner doing boots, and trying to slow it down because people are gassed. I get it, but for the most part, a lot of the filler was pretty solid. I mean, there wasn't many botches except for the new Botchamania chick. What's her name? She's a part of that group with the 3 girls. With the stupid name.
Not Zoe Stark. Shayna Baszler?
Not Zoe. No, Zoe. Zoe Stark.
Stark.
Oh, dude, she kills people, and she botches in everything she does. I believe, and I wanted to ask you this because I wanted to make the point to say, I think that was when she jumped on the ropes and slipped. I believe that was the only botch that I noticed
during
that Rumble. Do you recall anything else?
There's a few
Because you
other,
caveated during the roundtable that this is going to be botches all over the place. And as I was watching it, I'm like, this is kind of clean.
no,
It's a little slow,
they
but it's
had
kind of clean.
okay. So they did not have as many as I thought they would have. It was a much more how would I describe
Refined?
it? Efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
More efficient. I like the fact that they didn't have many surprises. We'll get to the surprises they did have in a second. I felt very happy with the fact that they felt that their roster was currently stacked enough to do a 30 women rumble. Io, Liv, Roxanne, who is getting called up as of this rumble, so she's not even in NXT anymore. Lyra, to kind of pause for a second. Lyra and Chelsea going back to back, entrant 4 and 5. Your two mid card champions coming in that early in the rumble.
It was really nice to see the champions come out.
I don't know if they should have came out back to back. I was a little miffed with that one. B-Fam, okay. Gross, Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Lash Legend, Bianca Belair was very early in the... And I said, Dave's got to be pissed. Number 10. I mean, she's not going to be figured in later. Nope. Bailey, Sonya Deville, Maxine Dupree, Naomi, Jada Parker. Hello, Miss Parker. Oh, as soon as she came out, Joe and Amy were like, who's that? I said, oh, baby. That's
thick as all hell.
That is Jada Parker. That's Miss Parker.
No, you know who my... Listen, let me not fucking scream. I'll get my ass beat. You know who my favorite was? The girl in the velvet red. Oh my god.
Velvet red.
Who is she?
Piper.
She was in all red and black. She almost, to be honest with you,
Stephanie McClure.
Her get up actually looked like Psylocke's gear.
Yeah,
but
it does.
In red.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Oh my god.
That's Stephanie McClure.
Oh, yeah, she's good. I like her. She's excellent.
She's a Stephanie, so I'm a fan.
Okay, fair enough. Don't make this weird for me, okay?
Raquel, Charlotte, Julia. When all these NXT women came out, I said, there's no way. Then it was solid. As soon as I saw Stephanie McClure come out, I said, there's no way that Julia doesn't come out. And everyone in the house looked at me and said, who the hell is Julia? I said, oh, damn it. I said, oh, damn. And then Julia came out, and they were like, oh. This was the first time a lot of people in the house that I was at, Pombo's family, my wife, they don't watch NXT. So when the NXT women came out, there was a couple of who the hell is that. When it got to Stephanie and Julia, though, they were like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
We only had 2 surprises. Trish Stratus, which I'm over it. I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good. First couple times it happened, I get it. Not necessary. And I felt like 30 was the ultimate troll. That was the ultimate troll because I know what people wanted. I know what people wanted. I know what the fantasy booking in their head. We're back here again having this conversation. People just telepathically trying to will shit to happen. It was not AJ Lee. It was Nikki Bella. And when you want to talk about visual disappointment on people's faces, when Nikki Bella came out, I felt like you could have put anybody in that spot. They would have been upset. I felt like Nikki Bella being 30 was a troll. It was just like, this is what you get for talking shit online about our product. There's AJ Lee's not coming back. She's happy. Her own husband went on TV and said, folks, I'm telling you, she's not coming. And people still got fucking mad. They still got mad. People would try to get Triple H fired. They were like, fire Triple H. For what? She doesn't work there. She's just fucking a guy who works there. Or at least I hope she's fucking a guy that works there. Anyway, that was the Women's Royal Rumble match with Charlotte on top. Charlotte now must choose a champion. You picked at the round table, and I was kind of all for it. It was like Charlotte Ripley 3. This should be good. But then there was a video on YouTube. And there was a video on YouTube was Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton at a table watching the match. And there was, one of the ladies there to interview them immediately after the match to get their opinions on who won. When Charlotte won, it was Rhea who spoke into the mic and said, look, WrestleMania 39, I already beat her. We don't need to do this again. And she looked over at Tiffany and said, good luck. You can take her. I don't care." And she walked off. I said, "God damn." But then they had the confrontation on Monday, and things kind of changed because Rhea was like, "At 39, I beat you," and then Charlotte said, "Okay, that's true, but remember the first time we met, I beat you." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, y'all need a tiebreaker. Let's go,
Yeah.
let's go." But they're probably gonna give us Charlotte and Tiffany, and we'll see where Rhea winds up. But
I don't know. I don't think they do that.
I
I don't think they do that. I think Charlotte thinks she's too good for
I
Tiffany.
don't know if they can see the money on the table here with this. I said it on the round table. I'll say it here. If they go with Tiffany and Charlotte, that is your main event of night one. I don't give a shit what Punk or anybody else is doing. That's too good of a match to have on the undercard. They got fucked at 39, but they'd be too big. It's too big. Moving on to the next match. 2 out of 3 falls for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. I said on the round table, this is either going to be feast or famine. Based on the style, people are either going to really, really love it or really, really hate it. Dave, there was some hungry motherfuckers in Indianapolis. They were starving. They were like, we said it in the house. About 70,000 people fell asleep and took a nap. They were not into this match at all whatsoever. And here's the deal. I was talking to Pombo about it in his house. I'll say it here. I'll repeat exactly what I said. The Guns got here way too late. Way, way, way too late. They were so innovative and so good for their time that every team after them mimicked. Everything that they do, everyone in every company does already. There's nothing surprising. There's nothing really out of the ordinary. They're a good team. This is coming from a Motor Machine Gun Mark. They're a good team, but we don't live in a world where they're the fresh new kids anymore. They're in their 40s themselves. Still out there doing the shit they were doing in TNA. And for some audiences, they'll pop, but for the most part, this is a different audience than indie wrestling fans. Indie wrestling fans have no problem watching the same match over and over and over and over and over and over and over. WWE fans, once they've seen it, they've seen it. That's pretty much it. We knew what that match was going to be. It was going to be teamwork. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to have a pace to it. They didn't go overly so. It was still a WWE style matchup, but that first fall, you could have. What was it? Cornette says you could hear a mouse pissing on cotton. There was nothing going on there. The first fall took place, and everybody, including the people in the ring, were shocked that it happened. And then the Guns, with their big move, Skull and Bones, 1, 2, 3. It's tied at 1 apiece. And then the Street Profits get involved, and there was nothing that any of the individuals in that matchup could do to wake this crowd up. They didn't give a fuck. And to make things even fucking worse, the one place I would assume would be sheltering these individuals and protecting them and saying, no, you don't understand. They're great. The internet turned on them too.
Damn, really?
I've heard nothing but negative shit from people that are legit fans of both teams. That were like, I don't know what the plan was, but that wasn't a very good match, and so it brought the whole vibe down, man. What did you think? What did you think of the tag match?
I mean,
it was what it was.
Yeah,
right?
just kind of is what it was. Yeah,
it was what it was.
I'm not a fan of DIY though. I don't like DIY at all.
I like Ciampa. I'm a big Ciampa guy. I've never really been sold on.
I don't like Johnny Gargano, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't. I've disliked him for a very long time. I've been very vocal about it. I don't like him. Whenever he's in the ring, it's not entertaining. I don't know. So I just chalked it up as that. We'll see. Because if whoever... I mean, they look like they're trying to do something with these tag teams, but these aren't, to me, like very high-end tag teams anyway. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
I'm not going to shun it, but...
Yeah, they're not building these tag teams the way that they're building their singles guys. You know, these tag teams need shine too, but it is what it is.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Our next match. Our next match is for the WWE Championship or the Undisputed Championship in a ladder match. And first of all, I'd like to give a round of applause to both of these individuals. What did you think of the match?
They showed up, dude. I was watching this shit, and the crazy bumps they were taking could not have been any more fucking perfect. Like the bounces they were getting, the rolls they were getting, the equipment staying where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everything they did looked so fucking devastating, but when you watch it over and over and over and over, it looks so safe. It was such a clean textbook performance between the two. They did a really good fucking job here. Both of them. Like, I don't know. I got a lot of respect for Kevin on this one for sure.
I would like to thank Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for hitting the factory reset button on the ladder match. I want to thank them because
Restored your faith.
Yep. And it restored my faith in two things. A, for those of you who did not grow up with wrestling in a time period that I did, what you saw at the Royal Rumble, that's a ladder match. That is how a ladder match is supposed to fucking look. Not the stunt show, not the Cirque du Soleil thing where everybody takes all kinds of crazy bumps and they're back up in 2 seconds so that they could take the next bump. Like you said, everything they did hurt. Everything that they did was all building toward one specific story. It was getting to an ultimate climax. Kevin dominated most of the match as a heel. And the ladder was not used. No one came off of the ladder. No one went from the ladder to the floor. They did what a normal human being would do. They took ladders and they picked them up and they bashed them over the head of the fucking person in front of them. They had a midget ladder. And the midget ladder did more damage in this match than any of the 6-man, 8-man bullshit matches that we've seen over the last few years. Even to the point where Kevin, did you see the one part where Kevin set up the midget ladder, went all the way to the top, felt like he was going to jump, and then went back down, and then just fucking moved the ladder out of the way? That's a goof on all of you idiots out there who love that wild and crazy bullshit that doesn't make any sense in ladder matches. This is how a ladder match is supposed to look. It's supposed to be devastating. It's supposed to be between two individuals who are beating the shit out of each other, and it's getting to a point where one man can't get up anymore and the other man climbs the ladder and grabs the prize. That's a fucking ladder match.
Funny you say that because that's exactly how the fuck it happened.
Yeah.
That end spot was, again, exactly what the fuck I said. That is a let Jesus take the wheel situation. He hit perfectly. He rolled perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think his head hit the floor the way he rolled.
Despite the angle,
And he had the wherewithal to not fucking move.
Yep.
Which made it look... Cody was like fucking gone by the time they unrolled his ass. So
unrolled his ass.
Dude, God damn, man. Hats off.
And then the picture. The picture when he grabs both belts and then gets on the table, so we see a bloody Kevin with Cody in the background holding up his two belts. Masterful. This was masterful how this went down. This is by far one of my favorite matches in a long time. And I don't like ladder matches. I've been very vocal about that because of the way that they've been handled. But this is the way it's supposed to look. This is the way that a ladder match is supposed to look. Brutal, unforgiving, bloody, just two guys beating the teetotal shit out of each other with a fucking weapon long enough. We haven't seen Cody use that Alabama Slam in a long time. It's one of his original finishers. He got it from Hardcore Holly. for that to be the spot that went through the ladder to me was like a big fucking deal because it's more storytelling. He had to pull out all the stops. He was getting his ass kicked from pillar to post. And I know Kevin took some pretty bad bumps. That backdrop onto the open ladder. Even that one, my wife was like, for fuck's sake, that looks insane. I said, but you know what, though? That's like the 18th time he's taken that bump.
You mean when are you referring to the backdrop where the ladder was like
open,
kind of like upwards?
Yeah.
There was one where he was.
It was sideways, where he was like it was open like in a V, and he took the backdrop on it, and he hit his back on it, which brought his belly up, and he just fucking fell to the ground. He's taken that bump like 1,000 times. But what makes it insane is that he hits it perfect every fucking time.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Like, to the untrained eye, like, even to the trained eye, it looks devastating. But I can only imagine.
No, that bump sucks every time you take it, but it's not going to injure you if you take it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And he hits it correctly every fucking time. And I got to give Cody credit. All that talking he was doing leading up to the match, he took a lot of heat. Kevin beat his ass for most of that fucking match. He got it in the end, but
I'm infamous for rewinding high impact moments. Like as I watch, I'll stop and I'll put that bitch in slow mo and like things like that. Like when they went off the side and he slammed Cody on the thing and Cody got like a crazy ass bounce to the other side.
Yeah.
Dude, I ran that shit back in slow mo multiple times, dude. I analyzed that stuff so fucking clean, man. So clean. In full speed, he looks like he just died. But in slow, he literally just bounced off a trampoline. That's all it was. Just a nice little trampoline.
Sibling.
So fucking good. So clean.
Professionals. This was a professional match. Everything... I would love to talk to them personally to see what it is that went wrong, because no match is perfect. Somewhere along the line there was a fuck up somewhere, but you couldn't tell. You could not tell. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. That blood at the end, great color. That picture at the end of him standing on the fucking table with the belts. For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake, this was good. This was the best match of the night. It's going to be a hard top moving forward. I don't know what happens with Kevin Owens after this, but we said it at the round table. We'll say it again here. He is long overdue for a world title run. Long overdue. And I don't think he's going to get one anytime soon because they got all things wrapped up.
I think he goes into that chamber and I think he comes out. There's a good chance he comes out with a win.
Wow. Bold. Bold prediction. We'll see. We will see. But he's one of my favorite guys in the business right now, Kevin Owens. One of my favorite guys. He just everything he does is just so on the money.
He's working his fucking ass off, I'll tell you that.
He's another guy, by the way, where you weren't really feeling his promos. You weren't really feeling
no. I fucking hated Kevin. Yeah. I hated Kevin, especially when he first started. Yeah. He grew on me a little bit with the Austin thing.
Okay. That's where
the ball stunner.
The ball started rolling a little bit.
Yeah, I hated all of that. And then he kind of like started falling to the wayside a little bit again. But I don't know, he's just really been working his ass off.
He's on a roll right now.
This run right now, so he just needs to keep it up.
The only thing I don't like is what happened on Monday. Did you see what happened on Monday?
I didn't finish Monday. The kid was acting all crazy.
All right, don't worry. But do you mind if I tell you?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to finish it tonight when we're done here. So it doesn't matter.
The main event was it was a chamber elimination, a chamber qualifying match. The winner of the match goes inside the chamber. CM Punk, Sami Zayn. CM Punk wins the match, and immediately after the match, Kevin Owens jumps the rail. Still busted up. He's got the black eye going. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. But he comes into the ring and he beats up Sami Zayn. He just beats the shit out of him and hits him with a package pile driver and walks out. So I don't know where that's headed, but I can tell you this.
Why don't you like that?
Because I don't want to see these guys together fight each other again.
Well, I wouldn't have to if you did what you were supposed to do.
What was I supposed to do? What was my job?
Wait, what do you mean? I told you in the ring you were going to have my back, and you didn't. You sat and you watched. I have a problem with that.
He was there for moral support.
For both of them? No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, he did kind of tend to
No. You disrespected me. You were supposed to help me do the job, and you didn't. And you sat there like an idiot. Nope, now I got beef with you.
Now we've got beef.
Now we got beef. Yep.
Oh shit. So
I told you were going to back me up, and you didn't listen, so.
And that's why he didn't back Sammy up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In our next match, of course, is the men's Royal Rumble. This match was an hour and 20 minutes, and it did not feel like that.
It was pretty quick.
I was so enthralled with this matchup because there was so many. And can I just say, really quickly, that when it comes to the men's matchup, another thing, as far as there wasn't really a whole lot of surprises, like 2 maybe, and one of them was kind of a funny surprise, and the other one was a meh surprise. But another situation of the roster right now just looking so strong. Rey Mysterio, Penta, Chad Gable. First of all, I popped on those first 3. Mysterio, Penta, and Chad Gable.
That was fire open. That was a fire open.
When Chad Gable came out with the 2 luchadors in the ring, I said, man, Chad really does hate luchadors. If they really want to fuck him, Dragon Lee is next, bro. Just have the whole ring of luchadors versus Chad Gable. Just go with it.
Well, apparently another luchador did come out. What the hell was his name?
Oh, Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes came out. Otis, Braun Breaker. I Show Speed.
Oh, I fucking love that guy.
Listen, I don't know a whole lot about him, and I love the guy because, first of all, for a YouTuber or a what is he, a streamer? He's just a streamer?
You can classify him as more of a streamer than anything else. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He looked athletic as fuck.
He's athletic as crazy. He has one of the craziest backflips in the world.
Yeah, he did it in the ring right before he was sawed in half.
Yeah.
I was everybody in Joe's house. Who is this guy? I said, well, he's a streamer. He said something. And I reminded Joe. I said, remember the guy? Was it WrestleMania? Who was it? The one that was it like he was in a Prime bottle? Wasn't that I Show Speed? Where he took
no. Well, yes.
No.
So I forgot they did that bit twice. Yes, you are correct. The second time it was I Show Speed. Yes.
Yes. So like it's not his first night there. When I saw him do the backflip, I was like, all right, he got a little athleticism, but I couldn't even finish that sentence. Because as soon as he does the backflip, Braun Breaker starts a running and a rumbling and a tumbling. I said, I know this motherfucker is not about to fucking spear this dude. I Show Speed turned maybe a quarter of the way before kablamo. He was ding dong hello, split in half by Braun Breaker. This motherfucker's head went from east to west faster than the rail system could allow, and he hits the turf. Then Breaker picks him up. And when he picks him up, and I would say pick him up like military style, like military press, he looks out. This motherfucker looked concussed. I said, no way they're going to toss this dude. And they tossed him out. And I went, okay, that's an elimination. Otis caught him. Cool. But then Otis starts looking around, and then he heaves I Show Speed into the commentary table. I said, oh, they going to get sued. If he's fucking concussed for real and they drag doll his ass, oh, my God. And then all of a sudden, my wife goes, why are they being so rough with this kid? And I said, you know what? This is going to sound old school. I'm sorry to say it, but you got to protect the business, baby. You got to protect the business. Fuck this streamer. The streamer's going to come in here and think he's just going to take bumps. You think he's just going to come in here and think he's going on the road to WrestleMania? Fuck him. They cut his ass in half.
He lost a chunk of his calf, too.
Oh, fuck it. Grow up.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw the clip.
Okay, yeah, he took a chunk of skin, dude. No, he wasn't crying about it.
No,
he's
a real man.
It is what it was.
He's got my respect. He's got my respect. He took it. He took it. There's not a lot of people that would sit there and get fucking speared by Braun Breaker.
I love the acting too. It was like, oh fuck, who we got against you go in. It was like, I'm not ready.
He said what Speed. He was on a first name basis. Speed, get in there, Speed. I'm like, what the fuck? At first, tell me, am I the only one in the universe that felt this? When they beat up, when Carmelo Hayes hit Tozawa, and they said he couldn't continue or he couldn't compete, I actually thought for a split second we were going to see a bandaged up Kevin Owens come out. I was
Oh
like,
shit!
oh, this dude was gonna steal the spot, and then it was ISO Speed. I said, oh, never mind. I thought they were gonna do something creative. Never mind. Followed by Sheamus, Jimmy Uso, Andrade, Jacob Fatu, Ludwig Kaiser, The Miz, and him. They said his name, and he appeared. Joe Hendry in the
Oh my
Royal Rumble,
goodness!
making history. The first time
That
that the
crowd
went
fucking
bananas.
exploded.
The TNA World Champion was in the Royal Rumble. He came to the ring with the belt. I was like, go ahead. I love this relationship. I've waited for almost 2 decades to see the TNA World Champion on WWE television. So it was a good moment for me. But what I loved, Joe Hendry was doing the whole, he was hitting people, that he was trying to get people into it. If you watch that whole thing, Sheamus is just staring a hole into him. And
That was great.
And he's smiling. And then Roman Reigns eliminated Joe Hendry, and Sheamus was like, what the hell? I was enjoying that.
Why would you do that? I was watching that. That was funny. That was a funny moment.
Unfortunately, after Joe Hendry, it was time for serious business. Here comes the Tribal Chief. Here comes Drew McIntyre. And then, quite possibly, the most irritating and frustrating moment of my entire night. Number 18, Finn Balor. I wanted to go to the store and find a small puppy and strangle it. I couldn't believe my fucking ears.
I had a feeling you were going to refer to that ass intro song that came out.
We heard the music in Indianapolis. If you're listening to me, you were not alone. The house that we were in was also stone cold quiet. And at first we were like, who is this, like a surprise? Who the fuck is this? This was the most hippity hop fucking song I've ever heard in my entire life. This was like some street gangsta shit. This was some hardcore
I told the people
rap.
I was watching it with. I said I only put up with this shit for AJ Styles. I will not put up with this shit for him.
Hey,
I did not like this music.
This music hit, and we were fucking confused. And we're like, what kind of... This is like the most hardcore rap song I've ever heard in my entire life. And the person that comes through the curtain is one of the smallest, leanest white Irishmen I've ever seen in my entire life. And I said, no, the fuck, he did not change his song to this bullshit. No, the fuck he did not. I felt like leaving Pombo's apartment and drop kicking a senior citizen in the fucking face. The world is not right. What is this?
It was pretty bad.
And it brought me back to my point. For anybody who's been listening to me at wrestling school recently, and I've had this argument with people, don't pick music you like. Pick music that allows you to accomplish the goal you're trying to accomplish. Fit to your gimmick. What the fuck was that? We just sat here 2 weeks ago. Kenny Omega changed his music. Remember we were just talking about it?
Fucking yikes.
Now he's a big Final Fantasy guy. He's a big gamer guy. He got the actual people to do his music from Final Fantasy. That's awesome. The song is fucking garbage. It does not fit at all to what you're trying to accomplish. Bad music for you will hurt you. That was an atrocious fucking song. And I hope I never hear it again. But I know I will, because this fucker had this song made for a fucking reason. I digress. Next up was Face Rash Nakamura. I don't know what the fuck this is. He has a skin ailment. He needs a dermatologist. I don't know what to tell you. It looks like he fell off his bike and never bothered to put ointment or anything on it. I don't know what the fuck. He just raw dog cement. Like he was angry with it, too. It's red. Like it's still bleeding. Like he keeps reopening the wound. He won't let it heal. He keeps fucking with it. It's in his eyes and everything. He needs an ointment. He needs a fucking eyedropper ASAP. They changed his music up because he's supposed to be a goddamn samurai. Because that's not fucking racist at all.
Well, maybe he wants to be one.
Even if he fucking decided, you know what, let me do a samurai gimmick. You know why he would pick that? Or why he would pitch that? because he's trying to pitch something that would put him on TV. This is what every Asian wrestler has to go through at some point. No matter how popular you are somewhere else, no matter what type of Asian you are, Korean, Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, it doesn't matter. When you go to the WWE, you're a fucking Asian guy. So the only pitch they want to hear is, just can I go out there and just ching chong for a while? And they go, yeah, that'll be funny. And then they go out there.
Funny.
Next up, number 20 was Jey Uso, our eventual winner. We'll get to that in a second. And then number 21, they fulfilled the dreams of every internet user in the world. Everybody who watched the Royal Rumble said AJ's coming out, and he did. It was just the other AJ. Not Lee, it was Styles. And he went back to his babyface music. We don't have to go through the heel phase again. Thank goodness. Here comes AJ Styles, and boy, he looked good and he looked sharp. Braun Strowman was next in the ring, and then we had number 23. The GOAT, as the WWE would tell you. Here comes John. And I got to tell you, it wasn't the loudest of the night, but it was a damn good response. And I think if you take that clip and you go back into time and you take that clip to about 2009, 2010 Cena, and you let him see that clip, I think he'd be happy with that. Because there was no mixed reaction. He got cheered at the Royal Rumble. People, for once, were happy to see this fucking guy.
It's almost as if the people who hate him are just kind of letting him have this right now. And those who actually don't like him are excited.
I'll resume hating you in January of next year. But for right now, go ahead, old man. Go ahead and let it rock.
Yeah, we at least deserve to do that.
But this is where it got crazy. Just like you said, Cena's in the ring now. He's staring down Roman Reigns. Here comes Punk. Punk takes his sweet ass time down the ramp. He gets in the ring. He steps in the ring. The three of them just staring at each other. And then here comes Rollins. This was a bing bang moment. These are like star right here. Here comes Rollins, and now there's a fucking it's a Katie bar the door. It's a brawl. It's a hoot nanny. It's all going down. And it's a Donnybrook. They're all fighting, and then here comes Dirty Dominic Mysterio, which is hilarious that he was that deep because he got a chance to rub elbows with all these dudes. Sami Zayn comes in, feels a little anticlimactic. Damian Priest, the Boricua guy, comes down. LA Knight, Logan Paul. Now, as I said earlier, we know who won. Jey Uso is your winner. But let's talk about a little something that happened just before the ending. The one moment that the internet just can't stop talking about. We'll bring it up here and address it. So, Drew McIntyre is making news. I don't know if you've heard about this. I don't know if you've read about this. Drew McIntyre was very upset, very unhappy, and very willing to let the entire world know that he wasn't fucking happy either about anything that was happening toward his elimination. So the story going around is that Drew was very pissed because his elimination. So Drew grabbed Jey Uso to make like he's going to throw him over. Instead, Priest came from behind Drew and threw him over. They had a very heated little stare down with each other, but Drew's out the door. If you look back at the footage, very hard to tell, very hard to see exactly what it is that Drew apparently was so fucking pissed about. But we're learning now exactly the specifics and what that was, and apparently the person with all the goddamn heat right now, it's falling on the shoulders of two individuals, LA Knight and Logan Paul. If you guys notice throughout the course of the Royal Rumble, there's a lot of laying down. There's a lot of laying in the corner, more specifically. And the reason for that is because when the ring gets full, it's very hard to focus on one particular thing or another. So a lot of the storyline parts of the match need to be focused on. There you go. That felt healthy.
God. My bad.
Yeah, that was all over fucking. That's gonna be all over YouTube, boys and girls. One of the main parts about that match is that when people are trying to focus on specific people and specific parts, everybody else is laid down and out of the way, right? So there's a spot in the match where Logan does the. It's like a flip over the rope, double clothesline. That knocked down two people. Here comes LA Knight to get on Logan Paul. I guess the plan was LA Knight and Logan Paul either to fight off to a corner or to knock each other down. Whatever the case is they weren't supposed to be in the middle of the ring. Well, they were in the middle of the ring, and Drew goes for his elimination, and he looks up to see two jackasses sitting in the middle of the ring. There is a little bit of a bump between Drew and Knight because they're in the way, and they almost mistimed the elimination because Knight and Paul were dead smack in the center of the ring, and the reason why Drew's pissed is because that elimination is supposed to, I believe, set up Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. But I still think that it will, because I think they sold it wonderfully and they made do with the situation with what they had. But it didn't make Drew very, very happy at all for these motherfuckers to be right where they were. Some of the words that were thrown around was very selfish. He was very pissed. They're trying to get their shit in instead of getting the match over like they're supposed to. Yada, yada, yada. More drama for a different day. That shit happens in the locker room all the time. There's always somebody upset about something. The point is they're going to get to where they're going to get to. But for those of you wondering about the specifics, this is what I've heard. This is what I've read from a reliable source. That seems to be the issue. I'm sure by now things have been discussed. Maybe a little less heat. Who knows? For Logan, it's a learning experience. I wouldn't have put it past him. But for LA Knight, this is really going to hurt. Because we've had complaints about him either forgetting something or not being in the right spot in the past. This is just adding to that legacy. He's floating into Mr. Kennedy territory, and I don't like it for him. I really don't. A guy that's just verbally over and just in the ring, he just manages to find himself in not so good positions. And he's one of the most basic wrestlers ever. He doesn't do a whole lot that's very flashy, but at the same time, it really would suck if he just talked his way out of a fucking situation right now. So hopefully water under the bridge, but it's not a good look for the two of them right now. But, time will tell. We'll see how that goes moving forward. Just wanted to address it because I know that everyone seems to be talking about it right now. I personally don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll get to...
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. They're going to get to their spot anyway, so it is what it is. My wife had a fucking aneurysm because at the spot where Rollins and Roman got eliminated by Punk, and then Punk eliminated by Logan Paul, and then Cena eliminated Paul. When it got down to Cena and Jey Uso, my wife was having a full-blown meltdown. Because, as I've stated on this podcast 1,000 times, my wife does not like John Cena, and that's putting it mildly. He is the he who shall not be named of this house, and he is, at this point, seconds away from winning the Royal Rumble. And she was not having it. She was in this.
I'd like to call back to what I said earlier, that when I said Charlotte was in the Rumble, that it was kind of a guarantee. I didn't think that was so much the case guaranteed for Cena.
No.
But when we got to the end, I got that feeling. No. I was like, oh, that sucks.
And I think I'm the only one in the room that had the opposite reaction. As soon as I saw that it was down to Cena and Jay, my heart got warm. I was like, oh, how nice of John. He's giving this guy the ultimate rub. I love it. And I was trying to tell Steph, and I was trying to tell Joe, I was trying to tell everybody, no. You guys are misreading this. John's doing the favor right now.
Well, you're better than me because my brain didn't even come across that one.
No. That was my first instinct. That was my first instinct. I said, oh, see, that was cool. Because now in the history books, the Royal Rumble is always discussed the same way. In spite of the fact that there's 30 people, when they announce the winner, they always say the winner last eliminating that guy. And the reason they do that is for the rub. So for this one, like for instance, when Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, it's going to say Charlotte wins, last eliminating Roxanne Perez. And you go, oh, Roxanne must be nice. She was down to number 2. She's the runner-up. Same thing here. Jey Uso, supposedly, we've debated it, won the most star-studded Royal Rumble of all time, last eliminating John Cena. That's big. That's big, especially for someone who calls himself main event. That's humongous.
This is huge. This makes me feel like he's going to do it this year.
So, one last thing about this match. For everybody out there who started turning on Jey Uso, and it was immediate, Oh, what a waste of a Rumble. He's not that good. This should have went to somebody else. What a waste of time. I had this whole speech prepared in my head, but I don't need it anymore. I scratched it. I had a whole rant I was gonna go on. How dare you? Point, wag the finger. No need. On my part, no words. No words. You want to hear how wrong you are? All you need to do is go back to Monday night. Go back to Monday night. I don't need to say anything. Jey Uso, oh, did you see the beginning of Raw at least?
I did, yes.
He comes out, does the big entrance. He is over like Rover. He gets into the ring. He's about to talk, and the crowd starts chanting, one more time, one more time. And they played the music, and he turned around, and within half a second, the whole building, he has full control of that audience.
He has full control.
Full control. He's one of the most over wrestlers on planet Earth. He's going to the main event. Cope with it. Deal with it. Get your emotions in check.
I really feel like he's going over.
He's going to become the champion at WrestleMania. He's going to beat Gunther for the world title. And if you need more motivation for Jey, this is a little tidbit I'm going to throw out there for the people, and then we're going to end the show. Jey Uso just won what they consider to be the most star-studded Royal Rumble in history, last eliminating the guy that they promote to be the greatest WWE superstar of all time in John Cena.
In his last Royal Rumble.
In his last Royal Rumble ever. And Jey Uso is now heading to WrestleMania, which is going to be in what city? Las Vegas. You know who's one of the most famous wrestlers to come out of Las Vegas? Rikishi. Jay's whole family is from Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas and San Francisco. Those two cities respectively. He will be competing for the world title off of a Royal Rumble win in his father's home fucking town. There's no scenario in my head where he doesn't walk out the fucking champion. None. So, come to grips with it. Because it's that if you got pissed when Charlotte won, and your reasoning is they should have gave it to somebody current who's been there working their ass off, then you shouldn't be upset that Jey Uso won the fucking Royal Rumble over John.
Dude,
because if you were supporting Charlotte, I don't. If you hated Charlotte for your reasoning, I don't know why you were so in love with the idea of John winning it. And I know people will say, "Well, hold on a second. At least this is a farewell tour. This is his last year." Blah 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 blah. It's still the same scenario. John hasn't won a match in years, and he's never around. But you were okay with him main eventing a pay-per-view and winning a championship all at the same time just to hit 17 because that's your fantasy booking? I like the idea of Jey Uso winning it. I like the idea of him going against Gunther. I know the Chamber winner is going to get Cody Rhodes. We're still, right now, we've got our steps in. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. It's going to be a fun fucking time. That's what I see.
We were watching it, right? And earlier in the pay-per-view, they were talking about how many people were there. 70,000 people, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy goes, he's like, do you know how insane that is? I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of fucking people. He goes, no. My town, like my area, we have a population of 20,000 people. He was like, there are 3 times the amount of people in my town in that building. And then later on in the fucking, and when he won, and he gets up on the ropes and everybody's doing the fucking yeet, I'm like, dude, he's got 3 of your towns all yeeting at the same time.
Yeah, that's the guy who
That's
won.
not championship material. You have high expectations. Like, you have unrealistic expectations. This man's got 70,000 people on their feet doing his self-created. That's his gimmick. He came up with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Good for him, man.
Kind of got that feeling last year at WrestleMania when he did his entrance that he was going to be a big deal this year. Because that's when it really started kicking up around WrestleMania last year when he did it at WrestleMania with Lil Wayne. It was like, oh, this feels big.
Yeah.
This feels big. And look how big it's gotten. It's only going to get bigger.
Oh, yeah. He's got all the rappers coming out with him now, too.